Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today I have Oreo the cat in my lap. Say hello to Oreo the cat. He's a cute cat, isn't he? He's my Oreo. So today what I'd like to discuss is this interesting article that I saw on Bloomberg. It says that Tesla is offering $7,500 discounts in a rare move to lift deliveries, which is interesting because just a month ago I wound up getting text message spammed with a $3,500 discount, and about a month later, now a $7,500 discount. The article says that Tesla is offering the $7,500 discount to take deliveries of its two highest volume models before the year end, adding to indications the car maker is struggling with demand. It's highly unusual for Tesla to offer such perks, as Elon Musk has for years enforced a no discounts policy. The car maker's production exceeded deliveries by more than 22,000 vehicles during the 3 months that ended in September, and it's braced investors for there to be another mismatch this quarter. The part of the article that I found the most interesting, and that we're going to discuss later in the video, is where it says that Musk has repeatedly criticized the Federal Reserve for raising interest rates. The first thing I really want to dig into here is this whole idea of them offering a discount. What is a discount and what is not a discount? So for me, a discount is when something goes down in price. A discount is not when something goes up in price 30 to 100% and then comes down 10 to 20. So if we were to take a look at what a Model 3 cost just last year, you could look over here and you can see, if I just move myself out of the way, that the standard range model was $38,990 and the long range model was $47,990. If you take a look at what that exact same car costs this year, right now, the standard range Model 3, $46,990, and the long range model, if you take a look over here, is now $57,990. This may cost a little more because you could see that they have the different color paint on it, but so even if you take the other different color paint off, it still only comes down by maybe like $1,000 or $1,500 or something like that. So you have a case where the car has gone up almost $10,000, but now they're giving you a $7,500 discount on something that's gone up by almost $10,000. This is not something that I would particularly call a discount. It is a sign, perhaps, that they are hurting when it comes to sales and demand, and there are several reasons that that could be happening that we could talk about. Maybe it's the fact that the build quality on these cars is not exactly up to snuff. Not even with the Model 3 that costs $40,000 to $50,000, but with the Model S Plaid that costs $130,000 to $160,000. And I'll link to a couple of videos down below that go over the build quality being less than lovely, and you can see the Tesla stands over here clicking that they dislike it because the video demonstrates something that just so happens to be true. The problem that you run into here could be with the build quality. The other problem could be that it is maybe likely that the people that tend to buy electric cars tend to be environmentally conscious. Those people tend to be liberal, and Elon Musk has just been bashing on liberals over the past few months on Twitter. Admittedly, it's been kind of funny to watch. I've kind of enjoyed watching the back and forth and the people raging at each other, but the whole shitting on the people or the demographic that tends to be your customer base for these very high-priced cars might affect sales. One thing you may notice on this channel is that while I will rail against the way that Apple treats its customers and some of their policies, I do not rail against the customers of the product, because those customers of the product are also my customers as well, and making fun of and bashing my customer base might be bad for business. I will rail against the way that Apple treats their customers. I will rail against their policies. I'll rail against the fact that they don't cover their own design flaws that they know are design flaws under warranty for people that spend $3,000 on a product, and the blatant disrespect that they seem to have for repair shops, as well as a lot of their own customer base. But I do not, repeat, do not crap on the actual customer, because that person is the person paying me. And the third thing that I think is the top reason is the overall economic environment. If the economy is going to shit, as it has been for the past 2.5 years, people may be less interested in purchasing vehicles that have a starting cost of $46,000. That might just be one of those things where, again, car starts at $46,000. Toyota Corolla can be had, in the low 20s. They might be going for the Corolla over the Tesla based on the economic environment. Now, something that I found to be particularly interesting here is just this idea that interest rates are crazy. They link to a tweet in the article. Macro conditions are difficult, energy in Europe, real estate in China, makes total sense here, and crazy Fed rates in the US. Keep that in mind. Crazy Fed rates in the US. When you actually take a look at what the Federal Reserve interest rates are, you can see that throughout most of the course of history, again, if I move this over here so you can actually see, you can have Oreo the cat in the screen over here, and interest rates over here. You can see that throughout a good portion of history here, interest rates have been way higher than they are now. Again, low, high, low, high. They went down for a little bit over here, then back up. They went down a little bit right after the crash of the dot-com boom and 9/11 and all that, went back up. And then something happened after the Great Recession, which is they've just been stuck and pinned damn near close to zero for the longest time. And we finally started trying to get towards normal interest rates again. Powell cried uncle, and then COVID happened and we went back to zero. So we're really only starting to go back to what things used to be a very, 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 very long time ago. Not even a market set interest rate, but something remotely resembling something that makes sense. When you have inflation in cars, that's about 30%. When you have inflation in housing, where a $300,000 house 2.5 years ago is going for $550K to $580K today, when you have inflation that's almost 100% there, when you have something like just a garbage pail, I tried to buy a garbage pail since I'm setting up the new store in Austin, Texas. I just wanted to buy a garbage pail, and I like the garbage pail at my old store. So I checked out the garbage pail that I had at my old store, and I had bought this. It's a Rubbermaid FG9W2700. It's a gray, lovely 50-gallon garbage pail. And as you can see, this garbage pail costs $74.24 when I bought it in February of 2020. This piece of shit garbage pail is now going for $152 after a 7% sale. So you can see over here, it says list price $164, but I'm getting a 7% discount. So now it's only $152.95. Inflation is way, 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 way higher than that garbage that you see in the CPI, that 5 or 8 or 9%, whatever the hell you see. That's not real. That's BS. And I would kind of agree with Peter Schiff there, even if I would never invest in his funds, but that's a topic for another video. I would kind of agree that the CPI is not really commensurate with living expenses, with the things that most people are actually spending money on. It's way higher than that. But one thing's for certain: when you have inflation in these areas of 20%, 30%, 50%, 100% on basic things that people need, and you have an interest rate at 5%, the thing that's crazy is how low it is, not how high it is. How low it is. A 4 to 5% interest rate is not going to kill 30 to 100% inflation on many of these goods. And if an interest rate around 4 to 5% is enough to bring down the price of this not exactly well-built car down to something that is at least within a $1,000 or $2,000 of what it cost last year, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I personally, again, it really triggers me when, the price of something goes up by 50 or 100% or 30%, and then they do a 5 or 7% sale to try and trick me into the idea that it's actually gone down in price. It hasn't. It's not really a sale. Let me know what you think of the, what do you think is causing people to buy less Tesla vehicles? Do you think it is the build quality, and more stories coming out about the build quality and how they are dealing with these after the sale build quality issues? Do you think it is the culture war stuff, or how he is kind of diving into this stuff in the culture war and tweeting stuff that may or may not be pissing off the people that tend to be his primary customer base? Again, it tends to be, at least from what I see, more people that tend to lean liberal, that tend to decide I'm going to spend more money on an electric vehicle because I care about the environment. Or do you think it is the overarching macroeconomic environment, which is just more people are broke, and when more people are broke, they do not want to buy a $60,000 vehicle anymore? I think it's most likely more the latter. And again, until things get under control, yes, I don't care if it hurts his bottom line. I don't care if it hurts his stock. I would like to see interest rates go up so that we can actually have something resembling a real currency instead of a meme currency. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Over here on the left, this is Blackberry the cat. She never shows up in the chair, so this is a particularly joyous occasion. Over here in my lap is Oreo the cat. Oreo the cat is a little shy today, so he's turned himself around, but I'm sure that he'll be less shy later on.